Who the hell are you? How did you
Oh,
get
e
in
chi
here?
è questo uomo
Mr. Ronald
brillante?
Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder.
Beh,
Good news for Cordona.
I'm sure.
che
Thank you,
professionalità.
Inspector.
Beh. Che è successo? Vabbè.
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there
Mamma
near
mia,
their
che trash sti giochi.
kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's being questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the
Mamma
whole thing.
mia, che
And now
uomo
there's a crowd
d'onore che
gathered at the
chissà.
camp, and my superiors say we
Hai
must
visto
thoroughly
proprio
interrogate the refugees. At least
una
those who can
persona tutta
understand
di un
any
pezzo.
English.
Do you believe
Pezzo
that
di
your superiors
merda,
wish to get rid of
letteralmente.
the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity.
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
In questo caso addirittura siamo arrivati a 2 cadaveri.
0.
A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here. A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal. Clearly a left handprint here. Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. A man's footprint. Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment.
E
The
Galle
blood
pure si
sprayed off the
mettono a
blade
fare
after the
background.
strike.
I galli sono sempre presenti in tutti i videogiochi. Sono come i gatti.
E i cinghiali.
No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon.
Ah sì, come quando Sora perde il Keyblade e si piglia un bastone.
Someone was dragged against their will.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified.
Ma non è mortista.
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately.
Ah.
He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I'll use it to create a solution.
Quindi cosa rimane? Una pianta che si possa utilizzare?
I can use this to stop the
Ah,
infection
sta
from spreading.
fatica.
I've plated all the ingredients now to prepare the first aid solution.
Io me la bevo l'aloe vera, è buona.
È buono, è buono.
Ah. Ah, non l'ho fatta apposta, non avevo capito che intendesse con saltare. L'ha fatto in automatico.
Proprio non l'abbiamo persa.
No, non penso. L'ha creata. Quindi la
creata.
posso usare.
E che si può fare pure così?
This should
Non
make you feel
perso
better,
niente,
my friend.
prima
Now
o
remain lying down and drink as much
No.
water as you can.
No, ma mi è dispiaciuto che non lo volevo fare, solo che proprio ho letto salto. Ho detto, in che senso salta? Non mi aspettavo.
Non vedi, il gioco ti trova la soluzione da solo, senza...
Beh, ti vorresti sforzare più del necessario per giocare a questo gioco. Poi è carità di Dio. Ti permettere. Se te la posso servire col cucchiaino. Infatti mi dispiace, non lo farò più, prometto.
Malpal.
Cioè è brutto, perché è brutto quel minigioco. Però preferisco risolverlo che saltarlo così.
A simple leather sheath.
Infatti un gioco dove devi usare la mente. Fai,
1,000
metti la
pounds.
possibilità
A fair
di
sum,
saltare e
especially
fare
considering
velocemente,
British currency
lasciare.
isn't very common in Cordona.
You still here?
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
Cos'è quello
And
slash?
this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law.
Viene di
I
lei.
can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads.
Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Vedi che questo signore era zoppo.
A steel dirk, sharp. A common accessory among sailors and
Quanto
soldiers.
vogliamo scommettere che questo signore è zoppo? Era zoppo.
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain. Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping, John.
Ecco qui. Quindi abbiamo
Violent
trovato
death.
l'assassino
This man, limping.
del primo
Coal
caso.
dust. I think we're onto
Cioè,
something
questo è
here,
quello
John.
che ha rubato
You
il
know what?
quadro.
I'd like to understand.
Ha ucciso cosa?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Call me when you find the answer.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman
Quella
cigarettes.
marca che di...
A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan.
Oh,
The good
zoppo.
old police just led the man into the camp.
Signora aveva sentito
Now
la
we
pezza
have
di questa
everything we need to get the full
sigaretta.
picture of what happened at the
Ma
camp.
Ma penso più che sia scivolato lui.
sì, infatti poi si appoggiava la mano sinistra sopra al muretto.
Vediamo. Fa bocca.
So we have a
Oh,
thug
che
who came to take the
ricostruzione.
refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword,